What's going on, everybody? Joe at the Big Sky Model Workshop. It is Monday, September 15th, 2025, which means it is, if you're in the model car building, content creating community, it's like the first day of school. It is USAC entry day. For those of you who are unaware, that's the Unified Scale Automotive Content Creators Group, which is a group on Facebook, but basically it's open to anybody who has an Instagram page, Facebook page, or more likely a YouTube channel that builds model cars, creates scale model car content. So this year, number 5, the kit was picked by the legendary Fred Henry from West Georgia Rods and Customs, and he chose Revell's 1969 Chevy Camaro, the 1/25th scale version, which has several variations. I grabbed this one here, the Z28 RS, because it was at Hobby Lobby, and well, of course, 40% off. I actually don't have any 69 Camaros in my stash. So you could argue that this is the equivalent for a generation of the 57 Chevy. It's a car that's basically a blank canvas. You can do so many different things with it, which is going to make it fun because there's so many different ways to build it. Beyond the traditional red Pro Street car you see at every car show somewhere in the country. This car has history. It was a Trans Am champion. Mark Donohue in the Sunoco Camaro, legendary in road racing. Drag racing, of course. You can't go to a drag strip in this country and not see at least 169 Camaro in the staging lanes, I would be willing to bet. We are going to see a slew of pro touring, pro street machines, drag cars, you name it. So for me, I always like to step out of that norm. I like to do something a little different. So my first thought was to maybe build a circle track car. So I was going to do something maybe like this here. One of two ways. I was either going to do it 1970s style with a straight 6, like an early sportsman car. I thought that would kind of be fun, except I realized I'm going to have to build a cage, strip everything down, maybe lose a lot of the essence of the Revell kit, and we kind of want to use as much of that kit as possible. And Mr. Mark Batson, Mr. Hobby Dude, is already doing the Tiny Lund Grand American version, so a circle track version of the car is already being done. So, and then on top of that, I realized that in the last year, I've already built 3 dirt track cars, and I have a couple more waiting in the wings. I don't need to do any more dirt track cars that way. But I still wanted to do something in that realm, and so I, searching around, found this. Class 6 Baja. Goes back to the early days of Baja. Class 6 used to be for 2-wheel drive production sedans. You can go back to the Hearst Scrambler, the Ramblers, James Garner's Olds 442. You can Bill Strope's Edsel. Right into the mid-70s, the Costa Mesa Jeep dealerships Pacers. Larry Schwarkoffer's 55 and 57 Chevys. All kinds of really cool cars that ran Class 6. Class 6 is now completely gone. It eventually evolved into 2-wheel drive, 6-cylinder SUVs and was dominated by Explorers and Jeep Cherokees until that became Jeep Speed. I could bore you forever as to what bounces into what. But in the old days, Class 6 was production sedans. And you saw everything from Saabs, Volkswagen, Scirocco's, Rabbits, all kinds of Mustangs, their Nova, El Camino, Ranchero, all kinds of really cool stuff. So I decided I would build kind of a tribute to this one here. This one was raced in the early mid-80s. I think this is probably more a 67 or 68. It might be a 69, but close enough for me. This is my inspiration. We are going to build the Baja Mero. So these cars kind of also ran in, not just at Baja, they would often run them like at Riverside and places like that. They would set up off-road racing, basically the predecessor to what we see when you see the Lucas Oil off-road racing or things like that. Things like they run in Crandon, Wisconsin, which is actually the grandfather to what we call bump and run here in Montana. So I'm really kind of familiar with the gist of it. So that's what we're going to do with this Camaro here. This Camaro is going to be built as an off-road car. I am going to strip the interior. We're going to add a basic roll cage. We're going to add our Baja seats. We're going to have to add a big fuel cell We're going to have to get that suspension up in the air, which shouldn't be too hard to do. The stock 302 in the kit is going to be more than adequate for what we're trying to do. The big thing I'm going to have to do some research on is tires and wheels. What I'm going to aim to do is something along the lines of a 33 by 10, 50, 15, something like that, tall, narrow, with wheels to match, something. I'm going to kind of shoot maybe for mid 70s. I think I've got some wheels on the shelf that might get the job done. I'm going to do some research there. You guys will find out more about that once I get into the build. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not starting on this car until about the first of the year because I've got plenty on my plate already, but I absolutely wanted to make sure that I got my entry video done today with everybody else so you could see what was going on. We're definitely going to add some off-road lights. I've got a bunch of off-road lights sitting here I'd gotten from Fireball Model Works. Stuff that I'd actually slated for the Rally Cool Group build that has kind of fallen by the wayside. We will transfer some of those goodies into this Camaro. So stay tuned. We'll jump back on this later in the year. We've got until March 15th of 2026 to make it happen. I think that'll be more than enough time to get there. As you can see, this one is still in plastic. It is completely sealed. I am not even going to open it up today. We'll wait until we're actually trying to figure out what to do for tires and wheels before we tear into it. But when we get to those things, I will be sure to post a video and keep you updated with what's going on. So big thank you to Lucas C. and Mark Batson for putting this all together. Thank you, Fred Henry, for jumping in and making the kit pick. This is going to be a lot of fun. Kind of excited to build something I've never really built before. That's kind of the point. Kind of get out of your comfort zone, have some fun there. So hope you guys like my plan. Stick around. We will jump into it a little later on this year. In the meantime, if you guys are interested, head to the Facebook page. It's USAC, Unified Scale Automotive Content Creators. Join in if you want to. If not, you can just build right along beside us. Doesn't matter. Have fun. So that's what I got for tonight, guys. I'm going to check out everybody else's entry videos. I know there's some pretty cool stuff out there. So thanks for watching. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one.